We're tired of being unemployed and underemployed. We are tired of only having to engage in sex work. We are tired of being your outreach people and your peer navigators making $10 to $12 an hour. We are tired of fighting for our country on foreign soil and then being told that we are no longer fit to serve. We are tired of our murders going without any justice and our murderers out there free. We want to be free. And that's why we are here. Okay.
Cutler, One Orlando Alliance, and I'm a co-founder of the Rise Initiative.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yasmin Prosper. I am the co-founder of the Rise Initiative, as well as the Trans Safety Protection Project.
And tonight, we want to welcome you
to the National Trans Visibility March opening ceremony.
Say, what's up, Orlando?
Orlando in the house.
Awesome. Next, we want to introduce an amazing performance live here tonight.
We have Dominique Morgan. She is the Executive Director of Black and Pink. Welcome, everybody. Please bring to the stage Dominique Morgan. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good evening, Orlando. How are you tonight? So this is my first time in Florida, period. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you to Marissa. Thank you to the entire team with the march. I know it's so much work that goes into making these important spaces take place. So I'm so not just proud, I'm honored to be here this week and to participate in the ways that I'll be able to participate. So they told me tonight that they wanted more turn up R&B vibey music, and I was gonna give y'all Pentecostal moment. So the glass stand is very much given, BET Woman of Soul Award. So we're gonna give that tonight. We put out an album last year. Art has always sustained me as someone who's formerly incarcerated nearly a decade in the prison system. Running Black and Pink, I'm proud to support system impacted LGBTQ plus people all across the country. But whether I'm an ED or not, art has always sustained me. So we put out Pisces in E flat major last year. This is called Soulmates. I think this is just going to be the best week that any of us can think of. And I think we need this time together more than we ever knew. So this is Soulmates. Soulmates really don't exist in my heart. Oh, it has to let it in there. I can't make you feel the way I really love you. I really need you, baby. Soulmates really don't exist in my heart. Has to let it in there. I can't make you feel the way I really love you. I really need you, yeah. Am I messing up y'all shot? I never thought that love could be the type of thing that could make me lose my mind, acting like a fool. I never thought that love could take me over, consume me, and make me feel this way. See, in my mind, I thought that you could be the one for me. I fantasize all day and night how our love could be. But now I see that you and me were never really meant to be. Hey, 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 I guess the soulmates really don't exist, and my heart has to let this end, and I can't make you feel the way I love you and adore you, but I ain't gonna force you. And soulmates really don't exist, and my heart has to let it in, and I can't make you feel the way I adore you. Yeah. If you're looking for love tonight, if you're looking for love in life, turn this love to seems like I find myself sitting up in my room, wondering why it hurts so bad. Don't wanna walk away and let it go, let it flow, because it hurts like hell. Would be the one for me. I fantasize all day and night how our love could be. Now I see that you and me were never really meant to be. So I guess the soulmates really don't exist, and my heart has to let this in, and I can't make you feel the way I really love you, I really need you, yeah. Oh, they really don't exist, and my heart has to let it in, and I can't make you love me. If you're looking for love tonight, if you're looking for love inside, oh, turn it up, oh, turn it up, yeah, oh, yeah.
Y'all better wake it up. I'm the one that was busy. So good evening, everybody. My name is Marissa Miller. Do I have to use it? Okay. You hear Mark? Yes. Good evening, everybody. My name is Marissa Miller. I am the founder and executive director of the National Trans Visibility March. And it is an absolute pleasure to be in Orlando. And I'm breathing hard this evening. So first of all, let me do my tap dance before Mark gets me. I want to thank Orlando for kicking off and hosting the third annual National Trans Visibility March. On behalf of the trans and non-binary community, I want to thank all of you who have worked over the last year to make this happen. Can we celebrate the Orlando crew? Shay, Yasmin, Mulan, Natalia, others. If I have not called your name, thank you for enduring. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for texting and I did not answer all the time, but thank you for perseverance. It takes a village. This is a huge ship with a lot of moving parts. We started out in 2019 and we realized that it was a huge moving part. And often, as trans and non-binary people, we cannot always do it by ourselves. So I want to say a special thanks to One Alliance for the support that you've been able to add to us, and for Mark, my right hand. Now, Mark Corman came to me. I came to him. We went to church. I always tell this story, and I have just a little bit of time to talk because I am the founder, right? And so, listen. We had went through a whole lot of stuff, and one of our larger funders had given me $500,000. I did not know what to do with it. I was not a very good steward of dollars at that particular time. So I said, well, March, listen, come on, help me put this march on, help me do the march the first year. And so me and Mark went to church together, CCWDC. And so this is not only my best friend and my right hand, but my brother in Christ. And so we've grown together. And so Mark has allowed me to be able to still grow and still do things that I need to do. So can we celebrate Mark real quick? I want to thank One Alliance and Come Out with Pride for your leadership and your willingness to host this great event. I want to thank the United Church of Christ and Reverend Terri Sneed, Pierce, Joy, MCC for hosting the impartment service, and that is on Thursday. Listen, I know a lot of us from the trans and non-binary communities generally don't engage in faith-based institutions because of church hurt, church harm, but we are on Thursday going to be at MCC. So if you are not doing anything, come as you are. We're not asking you to put on no church clothes, no big old hat, and bring out your gowns and stuff like that. Come celebrate with us. Some of our other national partners will be in town. Marianne Anderson and some of our other friends will be in town. I also want to thank our satellite cities, Sacramento, New York, and Atlanta, and they will be doing things also during the week. Once we realized that COVID was not going anywhere, because our original plan was to have a scholarship program where we were able to have marches in all of those cities and bring people from across country to those cities. And then on the last day, we all end up and celebrate together in Orlando. But because of COVID, we wanted to be careful. And as a public health person, we wanted to make sure that we kept everybody safe. But we're here, right? It is important at this point to invite those trans and non-binary individuals who were taken way too soon over the past year into this space. So we want to center the room for those that did not make it. And we also don't just want to center the room because we're good at centering. We're good at remembering, but we're not good at preventing. Prevention means programming. That means taking care of the job before it happens. We've been fortunate enough this year to work with Dee Dee Waters, who has taught us a great deal. What is safety? Every time we say safety, we equate it to violence. Well, safety doesn't have to be equated to violence. Safety is me being able to get into my car and not public transportation. Safety is for me to take that little blue pill every morning to keep my mind together. So safety looks very different. And so we have to stop defining safety. That's why we missed the mark. That's why they keep killing us, because we missed the mark. So in this week, I want us not to only celebrate, but I want us to remember those who have left, those who were gone too soon, but also remember those that are here. It's always important to remember those that are still living. We do good at celebrating those that are gone as well, but let's do good by those that are still here. Let's love on people. Who got a strong friend? Have you checked on them? Or did you say they're just gonna be okay? So on this weekend, let's celebrate. I'm not gonna move us to a sober movement, but I wanna celebrate this weekend. I am so excited for the partnership. Josh, thank you so much for your yes. Mark, thank you so much for your yes. And for the city of Orlando for letting me come in, because you didn't have to, because you could have said, no, girl, you're not coming up in here. But thank you for working with us. It hasn't been a perfect journey, but I don't know any perfect journeys. And so as we celebrate this week, I'm excited to be here. And thank you again, One Alliance, for your partnership. When I say trans, you say power. Trans power.
if you could just take a moment and take a deep breath in and hold it. And breathe out, because that's not easy to see. It's not easy to think about. It's not easy to bring to mind the people who we, in many cases, know and love, who are not here anymore. And so that grief that we experience is part of love. Grief is love reaching out for someone who should still be here, right? Here in Orlando, we know something about grief and love. 5 years ago, here in Orlando, we experienced the tragedy of Pulse. We experienced immense and communal grief. And in the wake of that event, we saw the power of love and the power of a community coming together saying, this should never have happened. This should never have happened to any of the faces that we just saw on the screen. And as we come together in love and compassion and power, we will make sure that it happens to fewer and fewer and fewer people until it doesn't happen anymore. And where we will all love one another the way we were created to. So it's in the spirit of love, it's in the spirit of healing, it's in the spirit of a brighter future that it's my joy to welcome you to Orlando. My name is Josh Bell. I'm the Executive Director of One Orlando Alliance, and we are so privileged to be the local host organization for the National Trans Visibility March. You being here, members of our community, are what makes this the city beautiful. Without you, we wouldn't be beautiful. Together with you, as we come together in our beautiful diversity, we are a beautiful city, and we have plenty of room to work and grow and learn together. So thank you for this opportunity for us to show the world how beautiful you are, how beautiful our trans community is, and we march together, we show up together this week to share that message. A few of the things that are going on this week, in addition to our march, we've got 3 workshops this week that I wanted to just highlight. Some other folks are going to come forward in just a moment to share with you about some other events this week. But on Wednesday at noon, we've got a panel on law enforcement and criminal justice and the changes that need to be made so that those systems are more compassionate towards our trans and gender nonconforming, gender non-binary communities. That's at noon on Wednesday. At 11:30 on Friday, we've got a panel focused on trans competent mental health care so that when you need someone to talk to, you don't have to translate your life for them to begin to help you, right? And then at 4 p.m. on Friday, in partnership with Orange County, we have a focus on the intersection of the opioid crisis and the transgender community. So we've got 3 amazing programs, mostly with Orlando folks on those panels. And I'm grateful that we have so much support here locally. And one of the ways that we receive that support is actually through some of our elected officials. And when I reached out and said, would you give a welcome message to the National Trans March? All of them said yes, but you're only seeing 3 of them tonight because we got to eat, right? You know, we got other things to do. They're great, but there's a buffet, right? So we're going to roll some footage through the live stream of Orlando City Mayor Buddy Dyer, Congresswoman Val Demings, and Mayor Jerry Demings of Orange County.
Good evening. I'm on the National Transgender Visibility March participants to our great city. Trans rights are human rights. And in Orlando, we value the contributions of our transgender community. I'm proud of the actions that our city has taken to protect our residents against discrimination based on gender identity and gender expression. Some important steps we've taken are adding gender identity and expression to our non-discrimination ordinance, adopting a transgender and non-binary persons policy for our police department, and being the first government building in Florida to install a multi-stall all use a restroom. However, our work is far from done. Our promise is to remain committed to continuing that work and to ensure that each person that calls our city home is equally valued, equally protected, and has equitable access to opportunities. I hope you have a great event, and once again, welcome to the City Beautiful.
It's from Congresswoman Val Demings.
Good evening, and welcome to the kickoff of the Orlando Pride Festival and the National Transgender Visibility March. Let me start with a message for every transgender person, and especially every transgender youth. You are seen, you are heard, and you are valued. Your rights matter. Your authentic life matters. I promise we will keep fighting to build a world where every person is safe to be themselves. But allow me one moment to conduct a piece of business. I once again want to call on the United States Senate to move and pass the Equality Act, which would create the nation's first ever national law to protect the LGBTQ plus community. I hope that all of you will continue your advocacy so that we can get this critical legislation signed into law. But today, let's celebrate our Central Florida community, its diversity, and our ongoing work to build a world where all people are safe, welcome, and free to live a life full of joy and freedom. Again, welcome and thank you for all that you do every day. Take care.
Thank you, Congresswoman. And we've got one more from Mayor Jerry Demings of Orange County.
Good evening. I'm Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Orange County, Florida. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the National Transgender Visibility March for selecting Orlando as a host city for the march later this week. Whether you are a lifelong resident or a first-time visitor, Orange County is proud to be one of the top destinations in the world for visitors. We are known for the finest hospitality, exciting theme parks, arts and cultural attractions, sports venues, and one of the largest convention centers in the nation. With more than 1.4 million residents who call Orange County home, we are also proud of our thriving and diverse community. The strength of our community has never been more evident than by the growth of your vibrant LGBTQ plus community and its strong participation and leadership within all industry sectors, businesses, and nonprofits. As we all come together to celebrate the National Trans March and Pride Week, we must remember and honor those who have paved the way for us, many of them being Black and brown transgender persons. They have taught us important lessons on overcoming stigma and discrimination and advocating for our rights. As mayor, my goal for Orange County is to create a community culture of innovation, collaboration, and inclusion where we embrace all people and no one is left behind. To achieve this goal, it would take each of us working together to build a community that works for everyone. I would like to recognize the work of the National Transgender Visibility March, as well as the work of the One Orlando Alliance, as they support Central Florida's LGBTQ plus community. Once again, welcome, and I hope you have a safe and enjoyable time in Orange County. Thank you, and enjoy your evening. Good evening.
I also am relaying greetings from Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith, Representative Ana Escamani, and Congressman Darren Soto, all reaching out to our community to say, we're here for you, we're working for you, and we know that we will hold them accountable to do those things. Amen? Amen. So thank you again to all of the wonderful support we have from our elected officials. And at this time, Reverend Terri Steed Pierce is going to come share with us about the empowerment service.
Hey, y'all. We're so delighted that you're here and you've descended upon this beautiful city, and we're grateful that you will be welcome to our church on Thursday at noon. Church was created for and by the LGBTQ plus community 42 years ago, by a denomination created for and by the LGBTQ plus community for 53 years. You are welcome in that space. We will host and hold an empowerment service led by and for the transgender and non-binary and non-conforming community so that you are empowered to go continue changing the world. We're grateful to do this, and we're so thankful that you will be in a safe place where you can be just who you are, just as you are. And we pray that it's just the beginning of many wonderful things that will happen this year in this city. Welcome to Orlando.
And now we've got Regina Livingston going to come forward and share with us about the Torch Awards. Regina, we're so glad you're here. I love your hair. It's gorgeous.
Hello. I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you all to the 2021 National Trans Visibility March. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. This is an amazing event. I will be your host for the National Torch Awards. Due to COVID-19, we will be inviting people to that event. It will be invite only. However, it will also be virtually. So you will all get the chance to witness the 20 amazing individuals that's doing beautiful things in our community and making great changes. So that will be Friday, October the 8th, and the doors open, I think, at 5. Dinner starts at 5:15, and the awards will start about 6-ish. So again, give yourselves a round of applause for being here at this amazing event. And I thank you, and I'll see you all Friday at the Torch Awards.
Hello, everybody. I am Maia Monet, the Communications Director for Come Out With Pride. I'm also, thank you, Josh. I'm also the Social Media Coordinator for One Orlando Alliance. And any given evening, I don't know which hat I'm wearing, but I think I'm wearing the Come Out With Pride one tonight. Yes. And on behalf of Come Out With Pride, I want to say bienvenidos, welcome to Orlando. It's been many volunteer hours to get this together, and I hope you all appreciate the rally on Saturday. I know that when Jennifer Foster came to me in 2019 and asked me if I wanted to go to the National Trans Visibility March in DC, I said no. And the reason I said no is I didn't want to get on a bus for 14 hours there and back. And to be honest, I really didn't know what the National Trans Visibility March was until I got there. And I think it's safe to say that for all of us who went, it left a very deep impression. And not just because Ashley Marie Preston was an incredibly fiery and impressive speaker, or the fact that I happened to run into Carmen Carrera in the march, which I have to say, if you get a chance to meet Carmen Carrera, always meet Carmen Carrera. She was very beautiful. But I think it's also safe to say that as deep of an impression that the march had on us, I think Orlando also had the same deep impression on the march. So I wasn't very surprised when in 2021, Josh came to me in a meeting and said, so there's a chance the One Orlando Alliance may come to Orlando and that the One Orlando Alliance will be the host community. And I thought that would be a tremendous idea. So being a board member, I just gave myself a promotion on the board. Sorry about that, Jeff Perstyko. But being a board member of Come Out With Pride, I brought it back to the board because the idea was to have it in the fall. Of course, that is when Pride happens here in Orlando. And I was very, very happy to hear Jeff say, well, why don't we just combine the events, make it all happen on one day? And I was happy for two reasons. One, I thought it would frankly raise the visibility of the event, not just to a national audience, but also to the local transgender community and the local LGBTQ community. You know, I think the trans community deserves a little love. And also the fact that our theme for this year at Come Out with Pride is Unified by Pride, right? And what better way to show that we really are one community, we really are unified, by having the National Trans March happen here and as part of Pride itself. So with that being said, please, on Saturday at Lake Eola, when just before our Pride March at 1 p.m., come to the rally. For those of you at home, you can watch it streamed just like you're watching this. And then at 2 p.m., we'll be stepping off with our march. After the march, please take advantage of all the regular festival festivities. We will have Got Mick as entertainment, who, for those of you who don't know, is the very first trans man to ever compete on RuPaul's Drag Race. And we will also have Kylie Sonique Love, the very first trans woman to win the American version of the show. So trans people are going to be everywhere on Pride. And I can't think of a better way to spend that Saturday. So on behalf of Come Out with Pride, welcome and bienvenidos. And happy Pride.
Thank you so much for that, Maya. And right now, we want to take a few minutes to highlight some trans-led organizations here in Florida. And if time permitting, we'll highlight some organizations that are doing the work here in Florida. So with that being said, we want to introduce 26 Health, Dr. David Baker Hargrove. Just a moment. We're waiting on a slideshow. While we're waiting, let's give a round of applause for ourselves for being present. Okay, for the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and just highlight some of the local organizations that we have here right now. If you are present, I just need you to stand up and show yourself. So we would like to introduce the founder and executive director of Divas and Dialogues, Mulan Williams. Yes, ma'am. We would like to ask the next person to stand up is Regina Livingston, the founder and executive director of Unspoken Treasure Society. I would like to ask my co-founder to stand up, OG King, for the Trans Safety Protection Project, along with myself. And my most beautiful companion, host, best friend, we have Shay and myself with the RISE Initiative here in Orlando, Florida. Thank you. Okay, so I don't think the video is going to play right now, but you guys can definitely check us out for more information. I'm quite sure you can find a PowerPoint on the slideshow on the website. We're going to bring to the stage Dr. David Baker Hargrove. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's so wonderful to see so many new organizations with trans people taking leadership roles and showing your passion. I'm thrilled to be here tonight, and 26 Health is really thrilled to be able to participate in helping to sponsor tonight's event. We were one of the first health centers in Central Florida. We were the first health center in Central Florida to provide all access multidisciplinary trans-specific healthcare. We were actually only 6 years old. We opened on August 3rd of 2016. So we just recently celebrated our 6th anniversary. We are still, thank you. We are still the only health center to provide extensive trans-specific healthcare behavioral health services, along with trans-specific spa services such as hair removal and non-medical acne treatment for trans men. And our patient care service center offers a clothing bank, emergency food pantry, and insurance access services. And the great thing about our patient care services is that there are no qualifications necessary, and you don't even have to be a patient to use our patient care services. And you can find more information about that on our website. Our telehealth HIV preventative platform is available in 39 states and in Puerto Rico. And in the next year, we plan to expand our nationwide telehealth services into primary care, trans health care, and other medical services. Now, I want you to be sure to take our sexual health survey quiz and enter a chance to win our $200 Amazon gift card. But everybody walks away with a takeaway. So when you take the sexual health quiz, you can see my companion Jamari back there, and everyone gets a takeaway. This is actually a project that we are doing as a grant project in combination with the federal government, where we are taking sexual health attitudes and information for the LGBTQ community. So we're very thrilled to be able to participate in this project. And we are actually now going to enter into another research study with the UCF School of Medicine and the National Institutes of Health on a similar research project that is specifically targeting transgender women. So hopefully you'll find out more information of that as that research study develops. So again, we are very thrilled to be part of this week's event. And I can't thank you enough for being a part of this project. So thank you. I want to keep this.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention one other organization. That's Q Latinx and Metamorphosis. If you guys are here, please stand up. My apologies. Okay, we just want to bring the energy up a little bit in here. So can we get a loud, routing applause? Thank you so much. Good evening, community members, virtual watchers, and our most distinguished guests. Today, we stand before you as proud Black trans women with the message to inspire our future leaders.
And it's not enough for us to have a seat at the table. It's time for us to sit at the head of the table. It's time to be the innovators, the trailblazers, CEOs, executive directors, and on the movement for the trans inclusivity around the world.
I was once asked, what does the future look like to me? The answer, it wasn't quite simple. The answer is the future is filled with endless opportunities for people that look like me. It doesn't stop there. The future also includes little trans and non-binary kids being able to play and excel in sports with no exclusionary clauses that prohibits or stunt their greatness, right? Because we shouldn't stop non-binary and trans kids because the competition couldn't measure up, right? Can we get a round of applause for that? All right.
The future for me looks like a place where all people, regardless and despite of their religion, creed, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, or gender expression determines their level or accessibility to fair and equitable and inclusive lives.
My hope for this National Trans Visibility March is not only to shed light on the leaders of today, but hopefully to inspire our leaders of tomorrow as well. It was because of this very march in September of 2019 that my life was changed. It was the day that I decided that I no longer would live in fear and that I would activate the superpowers and the undying flame of resilience in my heart and become the part of the change that I wanted to see in the world.
So today, we ask you for a call of action.
Until all trans lives are protected and respected, we have to keep on fighting for our seat at the table, not just at the table, but at the head of it.
And when we say trans lives, you say matter. Trans lives. Trans lives. When we say trans lives, you say matter. Trans lives. Trans lives. Matter. When I say Black trans lives, you say matter. Black trans lives. Black trans lives.
When I say
Amen.
protect, you say Black trans lives. Protect. 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 One more time for the people in the back. Protect. 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 We should not have to have another memorial. We should not have to cry another tear. We should not have to be afraid to go to the police officers because we are assaulted by someone and afraid to be re-victimized. We are asking our law enforcement, our senators, our governors, whoever is responsible for making laws that impact the community to stand up and protect all of its citizens, not just some of them. Black trans lives matter, and until it does, we will always stand up and fight. Thank you guys so much for your time. We are here because we're tired of being unemployed and underemployed. We are tired of only having to engage in sex work. We are tired of being your outreach people and your peer navigators making $10 to $12 an hour. We are tired of fighting for our country on foreign soil and then being told that we are no longer fit to serve. We are tired of our murders going without any justice and our murderers out there free. We want to be free. And that's why we are here.